Operation Status Quo. Operation Status Quo. Prepare to engage. Operation Status Quo. Ready to engage. Operation Status Quo. Engaged. Engaged. Hello. Hello. I gotta come up with something better than just saying hello. I mean, anybody can just say hello. Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's a Friday. We made it. It's a Friday. You know, I always have fun here on Fridays. I feel a lot of times a lot less pressured to try to make some sort of actual point. I just feel I could just kind of come on because that's what really the show is really about. This channel, because it's all about, you know, being fun and having a good time and not taking life too seriously. We talk about all the stuff we talk about, and I always, of course, like to, point out different things that I feel, that I see, or whatever, just what's going on in the world and give people things to think about in a sense. But ultimately, we realize that there's nothing to take seriously, and we just want to enjoy our gosh darn day, don't we? Isn't that all we really want to do? Don't you just want to have fun and just go for a nice walk or something? Or maybe you don't like to walk. Maybe you just want to lay on the couch. But whatever you like to do, don't you just want to do it and have fun? I think we should do that. And I'm going to, maybe I should start a new channel or some sort of like a social movement of the movement of non-movement. Let's stop doing everything and just relax. It's too much. Too much, baby. It's too much. Heyo. All right, so hello and welcome. If you haven't been here before, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate your time, as I always do. And I always say that, welcome if you haven't been here before. But if you have been here before, I thank you even more because you keep coming back, and I really appreciate it because that means a lot to me. Absolutely. I am Pete Palmer, your user-friendly host here on Operation Status Quo, and of course, this is Operation Status Quo, the space where we observe the status quo of life. We learn to flow with the status quo of life, and then, of course, we create our own flow of quo. Because that's the only way to go. Today is the 15th of September in the good year 2023, and today's episode is This Day in History. Yeah, that's what we're doing here, ladies and gentlemen. This is one of the reoccurring segments, if you would, on This Day in History. We have is one of the reoccurring segments, I should say, here on Operation Status Quo. This Day in History. Friday, like I say, is kind of like a fun day. So sometimes I like to do This Day in History, where we just kind of reflect back on what went on this day in history. Another one that I do on a regular kind of basis is the Just the Facts, Ma'am. There's playlists for both of those, This Day in History and Just the Facts, Ma'am, where we just kind of read some fun facts and have fun with that, right? Because we don't always want to, get heavy and talk about what conspiracies are going on and, how evil's running the world and how inflation's out of control and how it costs $32 for a dozen of eggs. We don't want to go always like that way, right? We just want to laugh a little bit and have a good time. And that's what I am. I'm your laugh catalyst is what I like to call myself. So hopefully you will smile and have a good time and enjoy yourself here with me today. Whenever this video comes upon your viewing eyes and listening ears, is a good time to just settle in and relax and enjoy. So we're going to do This Day in History today. Let's see here, Bob, before I start. I just got an email. Well, that's not important, is it, right now? That's not important. Oh, by the way, I want to, just say before I start, when I used to do my show before, I had two different cameras and camera angles. And when I came back to do this version of Operation Status Quo, I pretty much did away with the second camera because I wasn't doing some of the same stuff I was before. But I still have this camera, and I felt like it was important to use it once in a while. So we're going to go now to the close cam. I'm going to call it the close cam. And there it is, the close cam. And we bring it up and we get close. And here we are. How are we doing out there, ladies and gentlemen? This is Operation Status Quo. I want to thank you so much for being here today. I love you guys. That was my applause. Hold on. I love you guys so much. Maybe we should call it the insane cam. It's insane. Oh, it's Operation Status Quo. And we just go crazy insane here sometimes. All right, let's go back. But I do have the close cam, which I think I'm going to use once in a while just for some fun, right? When I get a little out of control, we'll pop onto the close cam and we can get up close and personal with Operation Status Quo. All right, let's not waste time then. Let's get into today. We're going to do This Day in History. And of course, you know, if you've been here with me before through this day in history, ladies and gentlemen, this is well. First of all, we will be discussing days like today, but not today, because today is its own day, and the days that we will be discussing have already passed us by, plain and simple. So I think it's fairly understandable. It is this day in. I got to do my horn too. This day in history. Jingle all the way. One horse open sleigh. Yeah! Hold on, a little more applause because it's so much fun. It's fun times. We're having fun times. We gotta have fun. Thank you. I appreciate all of you out there. As you know, I do individually as well as a group. I love you guys out there. So thank you for that. Thank you. All right. Anyway, let's do this day in history. I'm sorry. I got off on a tangent again. But let's see what happened on this day, September 15th. Through the history. Okay, here we go. Anyway, first of all, September 15th. Here we go. Are you ready? The first one on the list today, ladies and gentlemen. This day, September 15th, in the year 2002, the Iraq war cost was underestimated. Oh, what a surprise. I guess they didn't have enough people. They meant to pay people, like, you know, what they're doing in Ukraine now. You know, they're going to say, oh, we underestimated the cost. We meant to embezzle a few extra billion, but we only did $6 billion, but we meant to do $10 billion. U.S. President George W. Bush's economic advisor, Lawrence Lindsay, estimates the cost of the Gulf War to be $100 to $200 billion. This figure was criticized by Donald Rumsfeld, who said it would be under $50 billion. A 2007 Congressional Budget Office reported estimated the long-term price of the war at about $1.9 trillion. So remember, when we do this day in history, ladies and gentlemen, we are just being misled by mainstream propaganda, as usual. You know, so when these wars go on, they know exactly what they're doing. They're funneling money every which way to wherever it needs to go and whatever they need to do. They probably went into Iraq and took all their gold, you know, or something like that, you know, especially the oil and the stuff like that they do too, right? So, anyway, can you imagine, though? I mean, even back then, 2002, I'm just saying, you know, 100, 200 billion. When you look back on the whole thing, they say the price of the war was really about 1.9 trillion. I mean, isn't that crazy when you think about that kind of money and what it's spent for? I mean, $1.9 trillion spent on going over there and blowing stuff up and taking things that don't belong to us under the guise of terror, especially back then, because they went after Iraq for what supposedly was bin Laden, you know, with 9/11, right? So that was supposed to be, but we decided to go into Iraq because they have weapons of mass destruction. I mean, you know, it's like, I don't know, like, why don't you go after the guy that blew up we know who blew up the buildings, that's why, but I mean, it was all guys just to go over there and do all the crap that they did. And think about how long we stayed over there after 9/11, really, right? I mean, it wasn't until, I guess it wasn't really until, you know, Trump took over, right? That everything kind of finally, we finished everything over there, right? All right. Anyway, so on this day, September 15th, 1971, after two previous pilot episodes in 1968 and 1971, the detective series Columbo, starring Peter Falk, it debuted on NBC. It was one of the rotating programs of the NBC mystery movie McCloud, Heck Ramsey, Columbo, and Macmillan and Wife. So they rotated these shows. The show also featured his car, which was how do you say that? Peugeot, you know, I guess it's Peugeot, right? Peugeot. You know what I'm talking about. He had one of those, an old one of those. 403 was the brand. His Basset Hound was in the show, and Unseen Wife. Just one more. Oh yeah, of course. And he always went, just one more thing. Just one more thing. Remember, he would do that? The guy would give him an answer, and he'd walk, oh, yeah. He walked, then he'd turn around and go, just one more thing. You're screwed, because I know you're a lying sack of shit, and I know you killed your wife, for God's sake, because you're just, where's my applause? Because you're a jerk, and that's what jerks do, and I know it. Good old Columbo. Hey-o. I always loved that show. That was a good one, Columbo, back in the day. Let's see here. Lost in Space, September 15th, 1965. Danger, Will Robinson. Danger. Remember that? said they had AI back then. They were already telling you back then about the robots. And even the Jetsons were telling you about the robots, right? Because they had the maid that was cleaning the house. The science fiction TV show Lost in Space debuted on CBS with the episode Reluctant Stowaway. The show's action is set in the year 1997. Can you believe it? I mean, they were, I guess they thought we'd be further ahead by then. But anyway, that show came on. That was pretty fun, that show. I used to enjoy that one, too. Lost in Space. The Lone Ranger debut. A lot of TV shows debuting on this day in history. It's pretty interesting. September 15th, 1949, The Lone Ranger debuts on ABC, starring Clayton Moore as the masked hero. The TV series ran until 1957. It had been a successful radio show since 1933. So everybody goes, The Lone Ranger. Io Silver! God, I'm going to cough. Excuse me. Io Silver. Away. We need the close cam. Where's the close? We need the close cam for this. Yeah, back to camera one. Okay, back to camera one. Oh my God, are we insane? Are we insane over here? But you see, this is what Operation Status Quo at its core is really about. Just complete madness and insanity and having fun. But we observe what's going on in the world and we pay attention to it and we encourage each other to be our best selves and to move forward and to live a happy life, whatever that means for you. Okay? All right. Let's see what else happened on this day. We got through the Lone Ranger. Jumbo the elephant, oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, was killed on this day in 1885. Jumbo, the giant African circus elephant, is killed when he was hit by an oncoming train while being loaded into a boxcar in St. Thomas, Ontario, Canada. In those days, circuses traveled cross-country by trains. Jumbo had finished his performance that night and was being led back to his boxcar when he was hit by an oncoming train. He died within minutes. Oh, man, this is a horrible freaking story. I mean, these poor animals, tortured as it is, like to be part of a circus, stuffed in boxcars and driven around for people's entertainment, and then the poor creature is struck by it. They couldn't even keep him safe to get him on the train. Like, don't you see the other train coming? Oh, there's a train coming. Jumbo's standing here on the track. There's a train coming, and Jumbo's standing here on the track. I don't know, guys. Should we do anything? Or, crap. Jumbo's dead. Jumbo's dead. We were just a little too late. We were just a little, somebody help. Can we help Jumbo, anybody? Jumbo! Jumbo. Why did it have to be like this? Why, Jumbo? Why? Hey-o. Oh, my God. According to P.T. Barnum, who owned Jumbo, a young circus elephant named Tom Thumb was walking on the railroad tracks, and Jumbo was attempting to lead him to safety when the train hit Tom Thumb and then derailed and hit Jumbo. Jumbo was an African elephant born in Sudan in 1860. After his mother was killed by elephant hunters, he was sent to a zoo in Paris and then transferred. I mean, this is like a freaking tragedy. The elephant's mother was killed, and then he got wound up. They took him. It's like how they do child trafficking, right? It was elephant trafficking. He was transported to this country, that country, used for everybody's amusement, and then of course he tried to help another elephant that was on the tracks, and Jumbo wound up being killed. I mean, this is just a sick disgrace, ladies and gentlemen, and I think we should take a moment of silence. I'm going to get the close cam for this, but just a moment of silence for Jumbo. Jumbo. Why did it have to be this way, Jumbo? We all loved you, Jumbo. Why did it have to go like this for Jumbo? Get him off the damn tracks. Pay attention, please, people. Let this be a lesson. Pay attention when you have an elephant. Don't let him near railroad tracks. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. Jumbo. Jumbo, the elephant, got hit by a train and now he's dead. It's Jumbo, the elephant. Hey-o. Oh, it's insanity. It's insanity. Okay, what we got? On this day in 1988, Dan Quayle. We all remember Dan Quayle couldn't spell potato. Pretty much one of the most useless politicians. I mean, they're all useless generally, but he was exceptionally useless. The future U.S. Vice President Dan Quayle states the Holocaust was an obscene period in our nation's history. No, not our nation's, but in World War II. I mean, we all lived in this century. I didn't live in this century, but in this century's history. Okay, so these are the kind of people that are like running the world. I mean, it just goes to show you how fake really it all is. Like the fact that people like this are in those type of positions. Back then, we might not have looked at it as much. We might have found it funny just to bust his balls. But the truth is, it really goes to show that they're all puppets put in place to do whatever bidding is really being done behind the scenes. And to speak as a quote unquote eloquently as he did there, just kind of shows you. The level of mindset that we're dealing with these dopey dopes that are world leaders. All right. Anyway, the first issue of USA Today came out on this day, September 15th, 1982. They were sold from TV-shaped vending machines. And I remember that, ladies and gentlemen. I remember when USA Today first came out. So it was like, oh, a new newspaper. And especially me, I was from the Philadelphia area. So we had the Philadelphia Inquirer. And back when I was growing up, we had the Bulletin as well. But the Bulletin, that went under. And then not too long after, but what has nothing to do with this. The Bulletin was a Philadelphia paper as well. But anyway, USA Today came out 1982. So hopefully you're still enjoying USA Today and all the propaganda that puts forth. Shotgun, the TV miniseries Shotgun, starring Richard Chamberlain, began airing on NBC on this date in 1980. How about Watergate? The 5 Watergate burglars, G. Gordon Liddy and Howard Hunt Jr. are indicted on federal charges on this day, 1972. Let's see what happens now, like with all the stuff that's coming out. Like, it's funny, Watergate was such a big deal back then, and they caught, Nixon doing do, and got to be impeached, and ba. And then, as time has gone on, I don't know how many other presidents since him they tried to impeach. I know Clinton, for what happened with Monica Lewinsky or whatever. But other than that, right, it's just Trump. They've just been impeaching the shit out of Trump. Really want to get their money's worth out of, impeachment, right? So, but now we're coming up with trying to impeach Biden, which would be fun. I think that'll be fun. And of course, I love it when they are on TV now, and especially when you watch CNN and all the over-the-top extra propaganda stuff. They're just always like, this is a wasted. What's so funny about it? Because this is what they say. This is such a waste of time. There's absolutely zero evidence, right? Zero evidence. And, American people want to talk about the economy and what we're doing to help their lives. They don't want to talk about this impeachment stuff. I'm like, oh, yeah? Well, isn't that what people were saying for, when Trump was president? Did they want to talk about impeachment stuff? Or did they want to, get the, get to issues and get things taken care of? And of course, whatever, I know there's other things at play, but let's be real. I mean, the economy, people's wages, everything was a lot better shape when Trump was in charge, right? All right. So, and again, I say this not to be political in the sense of, because I think it's all bullshit. And really, you couldn't write up a worse possible way of doing things than what this current administration has done. And that's why I really think it's all on purpose, because you can't literally be that incompetent, right? Because even if you are that incompetent, you try to cover it up, but they don't. They literally do the most incompetent things possible to show you that they're not in control, and it's a lie. The whole thing, the whole system is a lie, to keep you suppressed, basically. So just don't take it seriously. I always tell my mom, because she watches, and I say, I don't know how many times do I have to tell you that is not the real Joe Biden. Please, for God's sake, people, at least from one takeaway from today's show, please understand that what you are seeing is not the real Joe Biden, okay? Whatever it is, a clone, a mask, an actor, whatever, somebody with some surgery like they did in the movie Face Off with, John Travolta and Nicolas Cage, whatever's going on, it's not him, okay? Let's just get that clear. And Kamala, I'm sorry to say, I do believe that she could be a man as well, along with, Michelle Obama. All right. So those are things you can look into. We're not going down the conspiracy. It's a fun day. We're not going down the conspiracy roads. All right. The Big Valley debuts on ABC on this day in 1965. It's all television. Let's see here. The first woman minister in the U.S., Annette Brown Blackwell, becomes the first woman minister in the U.S. when she's ordained in the Congregational Church in New York. Congregational Church in New York. That was on this day in 1853. We had our first woman minister. Praise Jesus. Matter of fact, I have that. I'm going to go there for you because we do have to just give a quick second to go, praise Jesus.
I believe.
I do believe. Do you believe? I believe in magic. Okay, we got some birthdays here. Happy birthday. Let me get the close cam for this. Hold on, I got to go close cam. Let me get the close cam. Happy birthday to you. Hi, how are you doing? Happy birthday to you. Hey, hi, how are you? Happy birthday. And if it's your birthday too, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
It is pointless to resist.
Stop yanking my chain. Absolutely.
Heyo. Oh, man, how silly can I be? I love it, though. It's so much fun. You got to have fun. Are you having fun? Okay, today's birthdays. We got William Howard Taft. He was born on this day in 1857. Of course, he was the 27th president of the United States. He was also Chief Justice of the Supreme Court for a while and the U.S. Secretary of War. So he had a busy schedule. You know, he had a lot to do. Tommy Lee Jones, good old Tommy Lee Jones, was born on this day, 1946. I really like Tommy Lee Jones. I don't know what I like him best. You know what? One of the movies, instead of saying what I like him best, I almost say what I like him least. And I enjoyed Under Siege. What a bad movie, right? With Steven Seagal. Under Siege when they're on the boat. But he was just a little too, it didn't suit him, that character, in certain ways. Like, he was a little too, I don't know, something about the way he presented, like, didn't kind of flow with I don't know. I just, not against him, because he's great, especially U.S. Marshals and The Fugitive and the Men in Black stuff. And, a laundry list of movies that he's done. But I always remember him in that one because he acted like, I don't know, too kiddish in certain ways for his age and the way he was dressed. I don't know what to say about that, but that's just my thoughts. Please leave your thoughts in the comment section below. I would love to know. Oliver Stone was born on this day in 1946. Of course, Oliver Stone. Merlin Olsen, born on this day, 1940, American football player, actor. He played the defensive tackle for the Los Angeles Rams from 62 to 76. He was on Little House of the Prairie and some other stuff too. Jackie Cooper was born on this day in 1922. He was known as America's boy. And they love those boys here in America, especially the politicians and the corporate leaders. They love their little boys in the back room. That's what's going on, and that's what's being exposed, ladies and gentlemen. Praise God when we expose all these child molesting, child raping, evil sons of bitches out there, these politicians and all the leaders and the corporate stuff and sports players and everything else. All right. I said we're not doing anything conspiracy today, right? Nipsey Russell. Who's Nipsey Russell? He was born on this day in 1918. He was a comic actor, frequent TV game show panelist. He was known for his poems. So I don't know I recognize him. Here he is. You see, let me show you his picture. You recognize him? I recognize him. I've seen him before. There you go. There he is. Nipsey. What's up, Nipsey? Sorry to see you go. He died in 2005. John Newton Mitchell was born on this day in 1913, U.S. Attorney General. He was convicted in the Watergate scandal. So the Watergate thing, they got indicted. Right? What happened earlier when I said the Watergate thing, right? They said what did they do on the Watergate thing? Let me go back to Watergate. Yeah, they were indicted. So indicted on his birthday. Oh my God. Well, what do you got? What are you going to do? That's the way it goes for these people. Let's see here. Who else? Anybody? Fay Wray. Remember Fay Wray? She was a Canadian actress and singer. She was in King Kong, the original kind of. I guess that's the original. She was born on this day in 1907. Who else? Anybody else good out here? Let's see. I'm trying to scroll through a couple names. A lot of, like they show me people that were born in the 1700s. Do we even know any? Like James Fenimore Cooper. Who the frig is that? Oh, he wrote The Last of the Mohicans. That's a popular one, right? But he was born on this day in 1789. Unfortunately, we lost him. He passed back in 1851. So if you didn't get a chance to say hello, I'm really sorry. You missed your opportunity. Anybody else? Let's see. Who died on this day? We got people who died on this day. Anybody? The guy who discovered the source of the Nile, John Manning. Is it Hanning or Manning? Oh, it's Hanning. I'm sorry, because my eyes sometimes, these letters, I can't make them out. John Hanning Speke. Speke, Specky or Speak, I don't know how you say his name. He died on this day in 1864. He was an English explorer. He discovered the source of the Nile. Yeah, it's like, water, the source of the Nile. I mean the Nile, I don't understand. Like when they say Christopher Columbus, wait till Columbus Day comes up. I'm going to do a show about that, I think, when that comes up. Just like they say Christopher Columbus discovered America. Don't think that these people didn't know what was over here before they came over here. It's absolutely ridiculous, especially when they talk about the Earth. They were afraid the Earth was flat, so they didn't sail out because they thought they'd fall off the edge. And I know when I start thinking about stuff like that, this is a tangent, I apologize, but, when I think about stuff like that, I'm thinking, just the nature of humanity. You're going to tell me nobody took a little boat and just went out there to really see if you would fall over the edge, just to see how close you can get before you did fall over the edge? That's how ridiculous it is to think that people actually thought, the Earth was flat in that regard, that they're going to fall off the edge, So, and then Christopher Columbus proved the world was round because he sailed around and found America, which nobody knew because it was on the other side of the world. I mean, hello, can we say lies and misdirection? Let's see, anybody else died on this day? No, that's it. We're going to go back up here. We're going to finish it off, ladies and gentlemen, because it is time for our thought for the day. That's right. We have our thought for the day, and our thought for the day today on September 15th, ladies and gentlemen, is experience is a hard teacher because she gives the test first and the lesson afterwards. That's right. You get tested, you get screwed over, and then you realize how upset you are.
What do you know?
I know stuff. I do know stuff. I do.
Heyo.
All right. Anyway, so that's what we got here today on Operation Status Quo, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, my God. It was a good time, actually, this day in history. I actually had fun with this one. Sometimes it's, you never know what you're going to get. How about that close cam? Drop me some comments and let me know what you think about the close cam. I'm going to start doing that some more. That was kind of fun. I get a kick out of that. All right. Well, I got to enjoy it, too, right? I mean, I'm here to, if I'm not enjoying, how can you enjoy? I mean, it has to be, that's the way we do it on Operation Status Quo. So listen. Darn it, if you haven't done so already, please take the time to like, subscribe, share, send this out to your friends, your family, those you love, and of course, those you despise as well. I love each and every one of you out there, ladies and gentlemen, individually as well as a group. God bless you. Please have a great weekend. Stay positive, stay happy, keep living for you, but be nice to other people and respectful, but keep living for you and live true to your heart. And until Monday, Operation Status Quo, disengaged.
Is a boulevard of 10 short blocks.